dedicated her time to engaging elected officials to take a stand for issues important to those living with MS. As an activist, she's worked to improve accessibility standards in hospitals, popular local attractions, and homes. Most notably, she was instrumental in improving accessibility standards under the Oregon Building Code. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever tried to change a building code. It is really hard work. She got it done at the state level. It was passed unanimously in the legislature and then adopted by all jurisdictions in the state of Oregon. Carol was immensely helpful, as I mentioned here, as Congress worked on the 21st Century Cures legislation. This is game-changing legislation. It's now law to accelerate the critical cycle of discovering, developing, and delivering new cures and treatments. As one of Bend's most involved and respected leaders, Carol was instrumental in the process as she effectively communicated the patient perspective and provided much-needed feedback. Carol is a tenacious activist, and her perspective helped me understand how to make sure this legislation, which as I said is now law, could most help people with MS. By prioritizing and encouraging innovation, 21st Century Cures gives researchers the tools they need to deliver results to patients and ensure we remain the global leader in biomedical innovation. Carol's been told at her local MS Self group that she, quote, gives them hope. And I couldn't agree more. We all have friends and loved ones who cope with diseases and afflictions. The hope for cures and treatments is what binds us. Carol's work is critical, especially now as we work to implement the 21st Century Cures legislation. And in this process, it is my mission to ensure that Carol's trademark of hope translates into real results. To honor her accomplishments and tireless dedication to our shared mission, please join me in congratulating the National MS Society's District Activist Leader of the Year, Carol Fulkerson.
Thank you so very much. I really appreciate this. So my sincere thanks and appreciation goes to the MS Society. I appreciate your supporting me and for your strong commitment to advocacy. When I first attended the Public Policy Conference years ago, I had already been engaged in advocacy in the local area in Oregon, and especially around disability rights and law. And being here and being engaged with our elected officials at this public policy conference, it was a huge energizer for me. Like I need that, right? It inspired me to do more. I'm hopeful that is true for each of you. There are elected officials, policymakers, businesses in our communities who need our help in understanding how their management decisions, policies, or programs ultimately affect people with disabilities, as well as our families, our caregivers, our companions. The advocacy that each of us engages in for improving the lives of people with MS, who live with MS, also benefits a very large segment of the population. I hope the enthusiasm that each of you experience here this week will carry you forward in your advocacy efforts into your communities, that you will engage in advocacy efforts, both large and small. Advocacy doesn't always have to be big. And there's so much benefit to you and to your communities. There is so much work to be done everywhere. So thank you so much.